Nick Varner is the quiet man of pocket billiards, the #1 player in North America, and today he plays the young man who would be king, Johnny Archer, barely half his age. Kim Prince, along with Bill Incardona, in Las Vegas for the semifinals of the World 9-Ball Championships, and Nick Varner has the 8 on the break.
That's right, Kim. He's dropped the 8 on the break, but he didn't come up with the shot. What he wants to do now is play a safety, some type of a safety here. And he would like to place the cue ball behind another ball, which he's done. Very nicely done.
The Grand Ballroom at the Sahara Hotel in Las Vegas, and this man, Johnny Archer, 22 years old.
Well, this isn't the shot that Johnny wanted to start the match with. He can't see the one. He has to hit indirectly into the cushion, then trying to hit the one in that fashion. Looks like he's going to use the bottom cushion to hit first, and then go toward the one, in hopes that he'll contact the one. Very low percentage shot. Well, scratching into the side, Nick Varner now has the luxury of putting cue ball in hand anywhere on the table.
A gift early on in the semifinal match.
Well, Nick's actually created this opportunity for himself by playing a perfect safety off the one. The balls are open, and I don't really foresee much of a problem from this point.
Nick Varner works the gum and will work that table. Perhaps the most consistent all-around player on the World Tour.
Well, Nick Varner has developed the skills to do just about anything that he wants to do on the pool table. And that's why his peers regard him as possibly the best all-around player in the world today. Now, he's positioned the cue ball in just about an ideal position on the table. What he needs to do is pocket the 4 in the upper left-hand corner, going toward the 5 for position on the 5 in the upper right-hand corner pocket. Okay, once again, he's positioned the cue ball ideally on the 5, playing position for the upper right-hand corner. The cue ball will then naturally go across table toward the 6. He would like to hit the side cushion and then come out about a foot and a half from the cushion, approximately in the area that he had his tip of his cue stick in. He looks very comfortable at the table, Kim. He's a seasoned player, and it certainly shows. It's very important to get the lead in a match of this importance. Okay, now, well, it looks like he's come up a little short, or possibly hit it too softly. I don't know which, but he doesn't have the shot that he wanted. Oh, I never thought that was possible for him to miss a shot like that, but of course, things like that happen occasionally. But it looks like he suffered little consequence. Johnny doesn't have a very, very makeable shot. Matter of fact, it's a quite low percentage shot. Fortunately, there's a built-in safety along with this shot. I think that he's going to put much of his effort in playing the cue ball, the leave, opposed to pocketing the ball.
You don't think he's going to try to sink this ball? He's just been given a tremendous break by Nick Varner.
Well, I do think he's going to try to sink the ball, but only about 25% of his effort will go into pocketing the ball. 75% of his effort will go into playing the leave. Since it's a low percentage shot, he wants to make sure that if Nick comes back to the table, he's not going to have an easy shot.
Opening game, a race to 9. First man to win 9 games.
He's hit it well.
And that won't drop.
Well, notice the position of the cue ball now, resting on the bottom cushion, the 9 ball at the other end of the table. He's created a lot of distance in between the cue ball and the 9 ball, And as a bonus, he's located the cue ball on the bottom cushion. Nick has a tough shot.
How many times would he make this normally?
Well, considering the situation, probably 50% of the time. So the next time that shot comes up, he'll probably make it.
And he did not stroke that ball well. You could hear that.
It's quite unusual to see 3 9-balls missed in any one game of a match. Johnny Archer now has a problem. This shot isn't what I consider an easy shot by any means. It's a very long shot. The cue ball is resting against the bottom of the side cushion. I make Johnny about a 40-60 underdog to pocket this ball. Well,
and now each player returning the favor. And here, if Nick Varner can't make this, I think he's going to walk off. He'd go home if he can't drop this one.
Well, that's true. They have shown their benevolence here in the first game, and Nick should pocket the 9-ball.
And so Nick Varner, after blinking twice, finally drops the 9-ball, and he wins the first game of this semifinal match. And hello again, everybody. I'm Kim Prince, along with former world 9-ball champion Bill Incardona, here at the Sahara Grand Ballroom in Las Vegas. And Bill, when was the last time, or have you ever seen players of this caliber miss the 9-ball on 4 consecutive tries?
Absolutely not. I've never seen it before, and I may never again see it. Players of this caliber do not miss the 9-ball 4 times. It's highly unlikely that they'll miss the 9-ball at all.
Yeah, a real wake-up call. We started the week with 64 players from 24 countries, and believe it or not, the international field has caught up to the Americans. Does that come as a surprise, do you think, to the Americans?
I think it has come as a surprise to the Americans because Steve Mizrak didn't think he was going to lose. Yeah. Alan Hopkins certainly didn't think he was going to lose. Kim Davenport just about jumped in the pool. That was funny. I'm sorry, Kim, but anyways.
Why? Why do you think this happened?
European players and also the Asian players have caught up because of the popularity of the game in both of their countries.
Okay, let's take a look at the draw now. You get an idea of the caliber of this international field. In the top half, Efren Reyes of the Philippines and Chang Chi Yao of Taiwan made it into the quarterfinals. And then in the bottom half, Earl Strickland had to face the German Suke in the quarters and the Japanese Takashi Toda in the semis. And Kevin Cusick is with our winner now.
Earl Strickland is the number 3 ranked player in the world. He's the winner also of the other semifinal match. He's been playing excellent all week. He's been touting each and every opponent. And Earl, you got to be happy about your play thus far.
Yes, I am, Kevin. I played very well this week. I'm looking forward to playing in the finals. I'm defending champion, and I'm trying to win again.
Nick Varner is ranked number 1, and Johnny Archer is really the new kid on the block. Is there any one person you'd like to see in the final?
Well, all year it's been looking like me and Archer were going to play in the finals, and he's either got beat, or I've got beat, or we've had to beat each other. And I'm going to predict that it'll be me and Archer in the finals.
Okay, Kim, there you have it.
Well, actually, Earl may be whistling by the graveside, I think, picking the younger man, less experience. How do you call it, Bill?
Well, I totally disagree with his prediction. I definitely feel that Nick Varner is a much more experienced player. Johnny Archer's 22 years old, has less experience. Nick Varner knows how to win. He's been in this spot before. He's won. Johnny has yet to win. I disagree with her. I like Nick Varner.
A strong suit for either we should look for?
Well, Nick Varner is a much more deliberate player. He uses very good judgment when he's at the table. On the other hand, Johnny Archer, being the younger player, if he's going to make mistakes, it's going to be in judgment. I think that's where the matches are going to be won, in judgment at the table.
Okay, the king and the heir apparent. More of the semifinal action from the World 9-Ball Championships when we come back. 1-0 and breaks. And Bill, he drops 1 ball on the break. Will he get a second? Yes, he does.
Yes, but he hasn't come up with a shot. And so what he needs to do now is to keep Johnny off balance. He wants to play some sort of a safety, preferably putting the cue ball behind the 4, leaving Johnny no shot at all.
Left-handed.
And he is an ambidextrous player playing with both hands equally as well, or just about. And just like in basketball, Kim, it's important to be able to use your left hand equally as much as your right at times. Now, Johnny wants to kick from the side cushion to the bottom cushion and then contact the 1. In the event that he doesn't pocket the one, the cue ball will then go up table. The one ball will stay down table. He'll create a problem for Nick.
It drops, and he gets it up table.
Well, pocketing the ball was just a bonus. Archer was able to pocket the ball, but he's left himself a testy shot on the 2. Okay, notice now where the arrow is. Now he has to hit the bottom cushion, like so, and the cue ball then goes up table.
And so now looking at the table, how does it shape up here? Can he run this table from here?
Well, it's not going to be easy, that's for sure. The first shot is a testy one.
That's more than testy. That's a scratch.
Well, things are going exactly the way Nick wanted them to. Johnny's starting off a little slow. He's a little nervous out there. Like I mentioned before, he hasn't really had much success in big matches. Nick knows that.
Nick Varner now with ball in hand anywhere in the table. And from here, he should be able to position himself, I would think, Bill, to run the table.
Yeah, anytime you give Nick Varner a ball in hand, it should prove to be fatal. Nick's positioned the cue ball in an ideal position on the table. Now, the only thing he needs to do is pocket the 3 in the lower right-hand corner, hitting the side cushioning, and then going to the center of the table and about the area where he has his cue stick, or at least the tip of his cue stick. 9-ball is a game of angles, and it's important for the players to keep some sort of an angle on just about every shot.
The ballroom at the Sahara Hotel in Las Vegas. Second game, semifinals.
Okay, it's important for him to get a nice angle on the 5, considering the area where the 7 is, up table. And then once again, he'll need another angle off of the 7 to drop back down table for the 9. We're watching one of the true masters of the game play. There's no question about that. I don't believe he has a weak area in his game. Once again, he has an ideal angle to come down table for the 9.
And he almost scratched there.
But it doesn't bother him, you know. He doesn't even realize how close he did come to that side pocket.
And the second game goes to Nick Varner, who right now is the #1 player in North America. So he leads Johnny Archer 2-0 in this semifinal action from Las Vegas, Nevada. Third game, he now leads 3-0 and still has the break. Drops the 2-ball. On the break, will he get a second? No. But his table doesn't look all that good. On the left there, Tony Brackett, who is Nick Varner's fiance, and on the right, Shannon, who is Johnny Archer's girlfriend, along with a good crowd here at the Sahara Ballroom in Las Vegas.
Yes, and once again, he was unable to come up with a shot off of the break, Kim. So he's going to have to play some sort of a safety. I look for him to try to get the cue ball behind the 3. Very meticulous at the table, making sure that he looks at every possible angle. Well, he may have come a little bit short of his mark here, Kim. It looks like Johnny may be able to see the right-hand portion of the 1 ball. And if he can see the right-hand side of the 1, what he'll probably do is brush the 1 on the right-hand side, sending the cue ball 2 cushions around the 5 and 8 down the table.
You think he's going to play a safety, or he'll try to put the 1 ball in?
I don't think he has enough room to pocket the 1 in the corner pocket. I look for him to play a safety here. Okay, he would like to clear the 9. Well, he brushed the 9. He may have a problem, but he was able to stay underneath the 9. Now Nick steps to the table without a shot. Being a student of the game, he's developed many skills, and one that he has in his bag is the jump cue. And I wouldn't be surprised if he went to his bag and got out the small stick called the jump cue. And there he goes.
And this is my favorite shot. If he's going to do what we think he is, He's going to jump that 9 ball and come down and try to pocket the 1. I mean, I've watched this shot a good deal, and I still can't figure out how they do it.
It's one of the most exciting shots in the game. If he's able to pocket the 1, you'll hear the response from the crowd. He needs to jump over the top of the 1. Oh, incredible. It's really an incredible shot, and the crowd loves it. The only person that doesn't love it is the man right there in the chair. Okay, not only was he able to pocket the 1, but he actually got great position for the 3. He should go 1 cushion off the side cushion, somewhere where the center of the table is for position on the 4. Just about there. Okay, the 5 ball will be the next ball, cross table. He's looking at it now. This is the key shot. He wants to get an angle on the 5 that he'll be able to drop nicely on the 6, and that's the key shot of the red, the 5 to the 6. But of course, he has to get the right angle off of this shot.
A race to 9. Nick Varner now up 3 games to none. Johnny Archer's got to get a chance here somewhere.
Well, I just heard the official.
I saw it move. I saw it move from my angle.
Well, the official is claiming that Nick Varner moved one of the balls on the table, the cue ball, and Nick clearly doesn't think he did.
Well, by his expression, it certainly tells me that he didn't foul. Let's take a little closer look at it. I don't see anything yet.
On that replay, it appears that he did not touch, but the call stands, and now Johnny Archer has a big break here.
This could be a very, very big swing. But of course, this is exactly what Johnny needed. Trailing in the match 3-0, he needed something simple, something easy that'll get him in the rhythm that he enjoys playing in. I don't foresee any problems in the remaining part of this rack. He'll just force the cue ball. After pocketing the 8 in the side, he'll force the cue ball toward the 9. This will be his first game of the match. First game that he'll win in the match.
Well, the call goes against Nick Varner. He doesn't like it, but it stands, and then Johnny Archer goes on to win his first game of this semifinal championships from Las Vegas. Back in a minute. Johnny Archer won the 5th game, and now we join the action as he breaks going into the 6th. He gets a ball on the break. Kim Prince along with Bill Incardona at the World 9-Ball Championships from Las Vegas.
But notice the location of the 1 and the 9, Kim, tied up. The problem hasn't been pocketing balls on the break. The problem's been coming up with the shot. And it doesn't appear that Johnny can pocket the 1, so he's going to probably have to play some sort of a safety. I look for him to place the cue ball behind the 9, locking up Nick solidly behind the 9. Very nicely done. Well, he's cut off almost all the rails on this shot. Nick can't come down table to hit the 1. He can't go to the left of the table to hit the 1. The only accessible route that he does have is by hitting the bottom cushion and then coming up table toward the 1 in that fashion. But not much room for error. He would like to hit in between the 4 ball in the upper right-hand corner pocket with the cue ball. Then he has to go in between the 6 and the 9. Very little room to work with.
If you were good at geometry, perhaps you could make this shot. Angles, always angles in this game.
Oh, that was an incredible hit. Incredible. Playing any other player, Johnny would have stepped to the table probably getting ball in hand. Not this time. He's faced with a tough shot.
Both delicate and decisive in the same move. Right back at you, in your face. And he doesn't like what it's left him, though.
Well, he hit the shot as accurately as he possibly could have, but he didn't come up with a shot. Position on that particular shot was just as much of a problem as pocketing the ball. Now he's located the cue ball, positioned the cue ball behind the 9, creating a big, big problem for himself.
Interesting sidelight. The first tournament that Johnny Archer ever went to was won by that man, Nick Varner.
He's going to have to create an angle here, Kim. It looks like he's going to go to the side cushion, to the bottom cushion, back to the other side cushion, and then hit the 2 in that fashion.
Just a routine shot.
Yeah, really, routine, all right.
Well, now, Bill, clearly he seems to be concerned about this. I think he senses this is a very big swing shot for him.
Oh, it definitely is. He's already trailing in the match, and he can't afford to drop much further behind. And it all stems from Nick's ability to hit the 1 ball, kicking it from the bottom cushion. And that's one of the reasons why he's the toughest player in the world to beat. Constantly and consistently working himself out of big problems. Now, Nick's the player at the table with a ball in hand. Pretty big swing.
Should he be able to run the table from here?
Well, being the player that he is, I would like to say yes, he should run the table from here, but of course you can't take anything for granted. The key shot in this particular rack is position on the 6 from the 5 to the 6. He's got a nice angle on the 4, come up table toward the 5. The position of the 4 is located near the upper right-hand corner pocket.
Always kind of interesting to watch the eyes of these players, because you will see them referencing not the shot they're about to make, but the second or the third shot afterwards.
Well, he walked around the table to take a look at the 6, and at that time he's making the ball in his head. He's making the ball, and he's visualizing where he wants the cue ball. Nine ball is a game of angles. It's important to keep an angle on just about every shot. And he has another one here. After pocketing the 7, the cue ball will then go naturally toward the 9.
Switches hands. Ambidextrous. Now for the 9 ball. Will give him a 4-2 lead. And he gets it. And that is why Nick Varner is the #1 player in North America. We'll be back with more action in just a minute. Ahead, 5-3 against Johnny Archer, barely half his age, and now we join the action as Nick Varner will come down table to try to pocket the 3 ball. He has already dropped 3 balls. He has a long shot here, a stretch.
Yeah, the cue ball is positioned quite a bit up table, and Nick's going to have to stretch in order to pocket it. Nick standing only 5'5". You know, this could create a problem for him. Being very careful not to...
And a foul is called. Apparently, Varner has moved the ball with his vest, which he just tucked in.
Well, the ball was positioned underneath Nick's body, so therefore we really aren't able to see what happened. But Nick was very careful in addressing the ball. I'm surprised that the official called a foul.
And I think Nick actually wants us to replay it to see if, in point of fact, he did foul. Well, Perhaps it's good for the NFL, but I don't think we've come that far in billiards yet. And so now Nick Varner, for the second time in this match, this race to 9, has been called for a foul, and he's called out the referee, and they're going to talk about it.
Matter of fact, the tournament director, Pat Fleming, has just interceded, and I guess Nick wants to be able to review this on the monitor, which he can't do that, so.
Sorry, Nick, it's not going to happen today. Johnny Archer now has a shot to get this table under his belt. He is behind by 2 games.
And once again, this is what Johnny needed, especially at this time in the match, trailing by 2 games. I don't foresee any problems here, Kim. 4 ball up the right-hand corner, upper right-hand corner, playing position for the 5. The ball is underneath him in the lower right. Oh, he gets off of the table, making sure he doesn't foul. Stuffing in his shirt, in his cummerbund.
It has been difficult throughout this match for either one of these players to develop a consistent rhythm. There have been some back and forths, and Johnny Archer especially has had difficulty getting enough time on the table to get his rhythm going. And I think, Bill, we can see he's just not leaving himself with the kind of shots that he wants.
Well, he's fallen short of the mark, Kim. This could create a big problem because not only is he short of the mark, but he has to elevate the butt of his cue. He has to shoot over the 7 ball. And this could be very interesting. Well, he wasn't particularly happy with the effort that he made there, and that's understandable. Nick steps to the table with another opportunity to extend the lead.
Let's go, Dave.
Johnny could have come within 1 game of the lead if he was able to run the remaining balls on the table, but that's not what happened. This is a very big game here, especially for Archer. So if Archer goes on to lose this match, he can look back to game number 9.
And game number 9 does go to Nick Varner. Twice he has been called for fouls, and twice he has come back to win the game in which he was called. And we'll be back to the World Championships in just a moment. It's that 44 million Americans play pocket billiards, and this man is first among them. And he gets the 2 ball in the corner pocket again. That's the second time he's dropped that same ball on the break. Clearly he knows something about this table and his particular break.
Well, unlike other games, Nick has come up with a shot. The 3 ball will be the next ball that he'll need to play position for. And it looks like he has an angle that he'll almost have to go into the 3. Now, the problem here is not only pocketing the 1, but controlling the 3 if he has to go into it, which he did. And fortunately, the 3 ball hit the point of the side pocket, coming back toward the cue ball, and he's ended up with a nice shot on the 3. Okay, now the 4 ball is the next ball, which is at the other end of the table. He's got an ideal angle on the 3 to pocket the 3 in the side, going across table for the 4. Okay, the angle that he has now suggests that he should go 2 cushions, bottom cushion, side cushion, playing position for the 5 in the upper left-hand corner. Cue ball speed is crucial on this shot. But it didn't present much of a problem for Nick. 6 ball is the ball located near the left-hand side. He'll then go 1 cushion off the side rail to the center table for position on the 6.
We began the week with 64 players from all over the world, and many of them have stuck around to watch the action. We are down to 3 now. Earl Strickland has already won his semifinal. And here Nick Varner and Johnny Archer. And right now Nick Varner has things going all his way.
Yeah, game 9 seemed to have been the key game of the match, and that's the game that's given Nick this opportunity in game 10. Archer, after faltering in game 9, hasn't had another opportunity back at the table.
And the 7th game goes to Nick Varner as Johnny Archer is glued to his seat. And Bill, it has been so far an inconsistent match, but when it counted, Nick Varner has made good shots like this one.
Being the great position player that Nick Varner is he is able to put the cue ball into position for the 5 just about where he needs to.
And as we go to break, Bob Hunter has a bit of pool sleight of hand for us.
Hi, this is a masse shot. You come to the table and you don't have a clear path to hit the ball. So what you do is elevate the butt of your cue, shoot with right English if you want the ball to curve to the right, and make sure that you don't hit the interfering ball. There.
And he gets a corner pocket again, and then a ball comes up to the end of the table, so he gets 2 balls off the break.
He has been making the corner ball with regularity, Kim, and that's one of the reasons why he has such a large lead in the match.
Well, let's compare the break from the previous game, game 10, and you'll see he gets the corner ball.
Once again, yes, he did.
And here is game 11.
Okay, here's game 11. Corner ball once again in the corner, which it has gone in the corner once again. Well, look what happened there, Kim. He looked like he hit the 4 ball with his stick. I mean...
It did. It looks on the replay as if that 4 ball hit his cue on the way back up the table before it went in. But we're not telling. Nick's already had 2 calls go against him, and we're not about to pipe up now.
Okay, now Nick shoots this particular shot opposite hand, and we can see the value in shooting and being able to shoot shots opposite hand. Ordinarily, you would have had to use the bridge if you weren't able to shoot that shot with your left hand, which Nick shows that he has the skill to do that also. The balls are opened. There shouldn't be much of a problem in this rack, providing that he is able to maintain strong concentration at the table.
Nick Varner, who started playing pool when he was 5 years old, after his father bought a small pool room.
Okay, he's looking at the 5 ball, which he'll play position for in the upper right-hand corner pocket. Now he's making sure he doesn't interfere with the 5 ball in any way. That was the key shot of the rack. If he was able to get the correct angle on the 5, to play position for the 6 in the right-hand side, the remainder of the rack should be quite simple.
Giving that beach nut a good working over.
Keep in mind, Archer has not been able to get back at the table after faltering in game number 9. Nice cue ball speed. He's located the cue ball or positioned the cue ball in just about an ideal position on the table. Needs to just to pocket the 8, drawing the cue ball back slightly. You really have to like his style, Kim. He's very deliberate and makes very few mistakes at the table.
And another game for Nick Varner, who was inconsistent in the early going, but he is up now 8-3.
Once again, Nick Varner shows us the touch of a master as he plays position on the 8.
And as we go to break, one of our competitors, Jeff Carter, has a trick shot for us.
I'd like to shoot a shot that I made famous at Muddler's Pool Room in Chicago, Illinois. What I'm going to do is shoot these balls up towards the corner pocket. The cue ball is going to follow them, and it's going to hook around and come back and make the 2 ball in the corner pocket. Well, you think I'm kidding? Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay, all right.
He is breaking yet one more time. He has had great success with pocketing balls on the break. Can he do it again? Bingo. There goes the corner ball in the pocket, and he also gets a bonus in the side pocket. So he drops 2 balls on the break.
Okay, he's pocketed 2 balls on the break, and it looks like he may have a shot on the 3. It's very marginal whether or not he has enough room to pocket the 3. He's going to take a look at it from this angle. I have never been able to do that. I have to take a look at the shot from the other angle to determine whether or not I have enough room or not. Well, apparently he had enough room to pocket the 3. Now, position on the 4 seems to be a little offline here. It looks like he's going to have to play position in between the 6 and the 7, which are the 2 balls to the left of him. He's going to have to go in between the 6 and 7 with the cue ball, going 3 cushions around for position on the 5.
Nick Varner 1 game away from this race to 9 and a berth against Earl Strickland in the finals.
In between the 6 and the 7, cross table now for position on. What's happening here, Kim? That's unbelievable that he could scratch 3 cushions in the side pocket like that. Unbelievable.
And the last revolution drops that cue ball into the pocket, too.
Well, Johnny Archer's hanging by a thread. One mistake hereafter in this match could be history. Keep in mind, this is the first opportunity he's had back at the table since Game 9. The 5 to the 6 seems to be the key shot in this particular rack. Okay, once again, it seems like he's fallen a little bit short of the mark, and he's going to have to do something a little extra here. Very nicely done. He will now have to play position 2 cushions cross table for position on the 8. Well, it looks like Archer's not dead yet, Kim, and this is game number 12. With this win, he'll just come 1 game closer to the lead.
And that's an unfamiliar sight in the last few games for Johnny Archer. And it brings some of the folks alive here. So John Archer is still within 4 games of the leader, but he will have his work cut out for him when we come back.
Important for Johnny to control the cue ball off of the break. That seems to be where he should put the emphasis on controlling the cue ball. Pocketing balls hasn't been a problem, which he pockets the corner ball, but he hasn't come up with a shot. Well, it looks like he's going to have to push here, Kim. And the problem is not pushing, the problem is finding an area on the table to push to. He wants to push to an area on the table where Nick's going to have a tough shot, but if he misses it, he's going to suffer a stiff penalty. He's looking for that area now.
And Johnny does elect to do a push, which is a free shot. He can hit the cue ball without hitting another ball or a rail, which he has done, and left, it would appear, a very difficult shot for Nick Varner.
Yes, he certainly has. And I'd be surprised if Nick accepts this shot, because it is a very, very difficult shot, and if he happens to miss it, it carries a stiff penalty. Notice the location of the 5 and the 8 ball on the left-hand side of our screen. That seems to be the problem area in this rack. If he elects to shoot the 1 ball, the cue ball will then go naturally toward that area where the 5 and 8 are, and it probably will go into the 5, freeing the 5 loose of the 8. Very nicely done. By freeing the 5 loose of the 8, he has made this rack quite simple if he's able to pocket the 2. Okay, once again, we'll have the opportunity to watch the true beauty of this shot. He cuts in the 1, going into the 5, freeing it from the 8. The bonus is position on the 2. Notice where the position of the 5 is now. He freed up the entire rack.
And here's a situation where Nick Varner took a chance at a crucial stage in a match that he's on top of. Perhaps he might not have played that shot exactly that way if it had been closer. Perhaps he would have played it safe. But here, now he seems to have control of the table, and this, if he can run it, will give him a berth in the finals.
Well, this is the area where Nick Varner excels in. He needs only 1 game to close out Archer in the match. He's a very deliberate player. He's going to make sure he doesn't do anything foolish, and he's going to go ahead and run the remaining balls on the table. That's my prediction. It looks like all he needs to do now is pocket the 6 in lower right-hand corner pocket, drawing the cue ball back for position on the 7 in the left-hand side. Just like so. Varner knows how to win. He's a holder of many titles. And with this rack, will give him the opportunity to face Earl Strickland in the finals of the World Tournament.
And the 9 ball is in. That is the race to 9. It goes to Nick Varner, the very likable, and I think in this case a very relieved Nick Varner has gone on to beat Johnny Archer, and he will meet Earl Strickland in the final. And a few words with a referee who I suspect is equally relieved because his decisions did not affect the ultimate outcome. The final score then is Nick Varner 9-4 over young Johnny Archer. And the key to the match would appear to have occurred back in game number 9 when Archer misses a relatively easy ball. From that point on, things went mostly Nick Varner's way. And right now, Kevin Cusick is with our winner.
Okay, Nick Varner is on his way to the finals, and Nick, after sinking that first 1 ball in the first game, things kind of got on a roll from there for you.
Yeah, I got off to an early lead, and Then those fouls, it seemed like those really played a big part of kind of the match, because both times I started out, it looked like I was going to be leading 4-0 breaking and might be able to take Johnny out of the match early, and then he called the foul, and then Johnny come back 3-2, and then at 5-3, here it come again, the foul, and I just didn't feel like I made the fouls, and he said I did, so I lost. But then Johnny gave me an opportunity that game, and then I was able to go from there to 8, from 5 to 8, and that's a comfortable position to be in, where the other guys got to run 4 or 5 racks.
Well, if body language could talk, you certainly weren't happy about those fouls. What went through your mind in terms of the ref? Did you feel as though you really didn't touch the ball, or did you feel as though you did and he shouldn't have called it?
No, I felt like I didn't touch the balls. You know, I didn't feel like I touched the balls. I think the first one, when I touched the cloth, I think the cue ball wavered. But, you know, as long as I don't do anything to, like a shirt sleeve touching or something like that, I don't think that should be a foul. And he said it moved. I said, did I cause it to move? And he said, yeah, when your hand touch a cloth. Well, that happens during a lot of shots. When you're taking a bridge, you see the cue ball waver a little bit just because how firm you got your hand on the cloth itself.
All week long, though, you've been playing consistently. You showed us certainly here why you're the #1 ranked player in the world, and the table tonight seemed to be breaking well.
Yeah, I was having a little trouble early. The one just kept coming up on top, and I managed to get the white ball right on the bottom. But finally, there at the end, I got a couple of open shots and was able to run out and put a lot of pressure on Johnny. And then the last game, I knew
The strong break from the defending world 9-ball champion Earl Strickland, as this evening he goes up against Nick Varner in the finals of this year's World 9-Ball Championship. Kim Prince along with Bill Incardona at the Sahara Hotel in Las Vegas. And Bill, Earl Strickland stalks a table, and he is one shot maker, is he not?
He certainly is, and you referred to the strong break. Well, he's the most explosive player in the world because of that very reason. He has the strongest break in the world. And this isn't particularly the type of a rack that you would like to start a match with. A lot of congestion, right-hand corner of the table. That's a nice shot for the opening shot of the rack. And Earl's certainly glad that shot's over with. Another tester on the 3. He's having a problem finding a place for his bridge hand. If he happens to touch any ball on the table, it's a foul. He doesn't want to make. He wants to make sure that doesn't happen. Notice the ball went in the center of the pocket, as most of his shots do. Position on the 6 is the key to the rack.
Very seldom will you see indecision from this man. Sometimes he will run a table in less than 3 minutes.
That's a very interesting point. Earl Strickland, in my opinion, has more natural ability than any player I've ever watched play the game. Very intense player at the table. Looks like he may play position for the 8-9 combination here. Oh, no, he elected to go into the 8, coming up with a nice shot on the 8 at the upper left-hand corner.
And Earl Strickland runs the table in little more than a couple of heartbeats, and he now leads Nick Varner 1-0 in this, the final of the World Championships. And hello again, everybody. Strickland has a game in hand and the strongest break in pool. 1, 2, 3.
Yes, he's pocketed 3 balls on the break, like we all saw, and he's at the table with an excellent opportunity to build a lead.
You saw him change cues. He has a special break cue and then this custom-made cue, which might run you $400 or $500 if you want to have one made.
Okay, now position on the 4 ball may be a problem. He has to get entirely down table for suitable position on the 4. Really not much room for error. He has to get all the way down table here.
No.
Well, I heard Earl say no, and I understand why he said no. Scratching in the lower left-hand corner pocket, Nick Varner steps to the table with his first opportunity in the match. Okay, now this is a very difficult shot, but he has to come all the way down the table, and controlling the cue ball could be a problem. There's not much area for him to work with down here.
Just a little pumped up, hit it too hard. And he scratches, so now Nick Varner will have ball in hand. And our first look at the #1 player in the world.
Now, the 6th ball is at the other end of the table. Nick's got a nice angle on the 4 to go up table toward the 6th. He should hit the side cushion. Then going toward the 6th.
And so the reserved and quiet Nick Varner has himself a first game as the more outspoken Earl Strickland watches on. This is the finals of the World 9-Ball Championships in Las Vegas. We'll be back with Game 3 in a moment. Strickland is up 2-1 over Nick Varner. We're joining the action in game number 4.
Oh, now hold it, one.
Gets 1 ball to drop on the break. Does not get a second.
But unlike the semifinals, Earl has come up with the shot. That's the problems the players had in the semifinals. They were pocketing balls, but they weren't able to come up with a shot. Not so here. Earl's going to elect to play the 2 in the side pocket.
Because it doesn't fall.
I knew I should have drawn that ball. Golly.
Well, it looks like Earl hastily shot the 2, and he hit it too softly. Something that's really uncharacteristic of the way he plays. Okay, if given the choice, he would rather play the 2 in the corner, but he doesn't have that angle, so he's going to have to elect to play the more difficult shot into the side. Well, it didn't work out for him. Varner now has an opportunity at the table.
But Billy hasn't left Varner much of a shot either, has he?
Well, I believe Varner can strike the 2, and he can't. Well, what happened there? I mean,
Just like I said, not much of a shot. So Nick Varner has blinked first in this match and has scratched. So now, after being given a chance by Earl Strickland, Varner returns the favor, and Strickland is back at the table.
Yeah, it's a very, very uncommon thing that you're going to see Nick Varner do. He very rarely makes a mistake like that. Earl Strickland at the table. Looks like the 4 ball will be the next ball he'll play position for, which is under his bridge hand. He'll draw the cue ball back to the center of the table. Now, this next shot coming up is a very interesting one in the respect that he really doesn't have that many pockets to play position for on the 6. I'm kind of curious to see exactly what he does do.
Come on,
He's
now,
opposite to come that down table, executing that particular shot very nicely. Matter of fact, he couldn't have placed the cue ball in a better location. He's starting to get into the rhythm that he enjoys playing in.
Which for pool circles would be supersonic. And so the man who some have compared to John McEnroe for his shot-making abilities as well as being outspoken has taken a 3-1 lead in the finals over Nick Varner.
It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
As we rejoin the action, each player has won another 2 games. Strickland still leads 5-3, and he has dropped 4 balls in this rack.
Well, he has an excellent opportunity to widen the gap here, and he looks like he's played himself out of position on the 5.
Oh, boy.
He would like to pocket the 5 in the lower left-hand corner pocket, but that shot isn't as easy as it may appear. Okay, narrowly missing the 5. Varner steps to the table. He doesn't look like he has that good of a shot on the 5. But he does have an option. He can either go for the pocket, playing position on the 6. He's got about a make percentage of about 40% with that shot. But if he locates the cue ball, positions the cue ball behind the 9 to accomplish that, he's looking at about a 97% success rate.
And he plays it perfectly.
Okay, now Strickland's going to probably have to kick at the 5 with a lot of speed because this type of a shot, you really have to look to get lucky here.
Easy out. I don't get out.
Seems to be dwelling over the fact that he missed a 5, but he has to hit this with some speed now, give himself a chance to luck in the 5.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like Nick's decision on playing safe on the 5 maybe has given him a chance to win this game. He's looking to see what type of an angle that he needs to come off of that side cushion. He wants to go in between the 7 and 9, playing position for the 6 in the lower left-hand corner pocket.
Strickland had some rhythm going early on, but Nick Varner has yet to really establish the kind of rhythm and table layout he'd like. Race to 9, Strickland up 5-3.
He wants to go 2 rails in between the 7 and 9. Oh, he ran into the 7 there, Kim, and it looks like he's hooked himself, and he hasn't come up with the shot. Okay, he elected to kick the 6 from behind, sending it up table. Actually leaving Earl not too good of a shot here. He doesn't have a safety. He's going to probably have to go for the shot. That's his only choice, and he doesn't like it.
Come on, bounce hard. This ball's going to stop.
It's not only going to stop, it's going to come back toward the middle of the table.
Well, he wasn't able to pocket the 6, but he doesn't look like he's left Nick that easy of a shot on the 6. He has an option. He can either cut it into the side or bank it cross-side. There's problems with either shot. I look from the bank, the 6 cross-side, Kim, and playing position on the 7 in the lower right-hand corner pocket. If he plays the 6 directly into the left-hand side, he's going to have to elevate the butt of his cue, diminishing the accuracy of the shot. Certainly sure he doesn't want to do that, so it looks like he's going to bank it cross-side. He's about even money to make this bank. Well, he hit it on the short side of the pocket, not cutting it enough,
That's not a good leave.
Strickland comes to the table with a shot, and he just said it's not a good leave. That side pocket may come into play. Controlling the cue ball could be a problem on the shot. controlling the cue ball was a problem. That's why he elected to play position for the bank cross side. But that wasn't a problem.
And the game to Earl Strickland. We began with 64 players. We are down to the final 2, and Strickland now has a 6-3 lead. And here's a look at that bank shot that Varner missed earlier.
No, game 9 is the key game of the match up to this point. If Nick was able to pocket the 6-ball cross side, he would have then come within 1 game of the lead, but he wasn't able to do that. He stumbled twice in game 9. If he goes on to lose this match, he can look back to game number 9.
Strickland with the break. 1 ball, 2 balls. Will he get a third? No.
Okay, he has an option to play the 2 in either the side or the corner. Playing it in the side, he probably won't be able to play position for the 4, so he's going to have to go for the corner. A very long, testy shot. 2 ball, center of the table.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, he made one difficult shot. He made a slow roll at the length of the table. Not a very easy shot. 4 ball in the lower right-hand corner to the 5 ball sitting there in the lower left-hand corner. Elevating.
Oh, no. Oh.
Very nicely done. This is the key shot of the rack. Playing position for the 6. All the work of this rack started off with the 2 ball. And I don't foresee any problems for the remainder of the rack.
Please stop. Boys from North Carolina can't keep an angle.
Boys from North Carolina can't keep an angle. When they shoot as straight as Earl Strickland, they don't really need an angle.
And so Earl Strickland talking to the balls, talking to himself, and Nick Varner can only sit and listen. And now with Nick Varner having won game 11, but Strickland still in the lead, 7-4. First man to 9 wins. Gets a ball in the lower bottom corner pocket.
Well, he pocketed a ball on the break, but he can't even see the one. Looks like he's going to have to push here. And the problem is, where do you push? The 5 and 9, they're tied up kind of like on the other side of the table. But where do you push from this point? That's the problem he's confronted with.
A push, of course, is a free shot after the break where a player does not need to hit either the ball or a rail. And now, as Bill mentions, where to put it.
Well, Nick certainly used a lot of fine judgment on that push, pushing to a place on the table where Strickland can't even hit the one. I'm certainly sure Strickland's going to pass it back to Nick. Well, as I thought, Strickland didn't like the shot that was offered to him, so therefore he has the option to either accept the shot or pass it back to the player that pushed. He passed it back to Nick.
A lot of charity going on here. Varner working that gum as he always does. That's one of his characteristics. Ooh, and he almost makes it.
Well, he didn't really kick the ball adequately enough to put Strickland in trouble. Now Strickland comes to the table with an excellent opportunity. He used obviously good judgment in passing the shot. Two ball at the other side of the table, nearest the upper left-hand corner. This is a big game for Earl. It'll put him on the hill.
Just come down and play the 9. You got a shot, just play the 9.
Looks like he's going to play position for the short rack 3-9 combination.
Not the best angle in the world.
Strickland won the World 9-Ball Championships last year in Bergheim, Germany. Has been Player of the Year 4 times. And he has had that intense look all week. Has never been in danger of losing a match at all.
Well, that was a very difficult combination, and he wasn't able to come up with it. Nick Varner now steps to the table with an opportunity to capture this game. Now, if you notice, he narrowly missed the combination. It wasn't a very easy combination by any means. Okay, the 5 ball will be the next ball he'll need to shoot. Playing position for the 5, which is down the other end of the table. He's walking around the table. It obviously doesn't like the angle that he has on the 4. 5 ball is underneath his bridge hand. He's going to have to probably try to create some type of an angle on this shot. And in trying to create an angle off of the 4, he missed pocket at the 4. But if you notice where the cue ball went, behind the 7, it doesn't appear. It doesn't appear that Strickland's really happy about the results.
As if he meant to do that.
I don't see nothing funny.
Okay, Varner's come up with an awkward angle on the 4. Looks like he's going to have to create one. He's going to have to sacrifice the accuracy of the shot to create the angle, and it looks like he just wasn't able to do it.
And Earl has next to nothing to shoot out here. He doesn't like at all what he's been left with.
Look at this shot!
Well, there was plenty of reason for Earl to be so excited. I mean, to make a shot like that is really...
Okay, we're playing 8-ball. My opponent had the stripes. He cleans the table, gets bad position for the 8-ball. So he rolls the cue ball up here like this, and he tries to play a safety on me. So what I'm going to try to do is pocket the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and play shape for the 8-ball, all in the same shot. There we go. Now, thank you. My opponent knew if I made that shot, I could make this one. He just give me the 8-ball. Thank you. Fun, ain't it?
Game 13. This will be Strickland's last opportunity to break the balls. He knows it. Varner sitting sedately in his chair, patiently waiting for an opening that may never come.
Hold it.
And he's come up with a shot. Looks bad for Nick. Well, he can pocket the 1 in the upper right-hand corner. The 2-ball sits on the same cushion. There may be a problem with the 3-7. The 3 will not pass the 7 into the lower right-hand corner pocket.
Well, he did hard enough.
I'm not quite sure if he likes the angle that he has on the 2. He only has 1 pocket to play position for on the 3, and that's the lower left, unless he elects to play the combination, which I don't think he likes.
All the way down.
Looks like he wants to come down table, playing position for the 3 in either the upper right or the side pocket.
That's too hard.
He's not going to like it.
Well, there hadn't been many safeties in this game, but you're getting ready to see one. And I didn't even execute it.
Okay, Earl played his safety on that shot, but it didn't look like he did a very good job of it. He wanted to place the cue ball where the arrow is, behind the 4.
I play bad on this guy every time I play him.
But he wasn't able to do it.
Never play good on him.
I guess it was kind of a carryover because he fell out of line on the 3 and he allowed that to distract him. This is a big shot for Nick. Center pocket. Seemed to be the crucial shot of this rack. Should play the 6 in the upper left-hand corner, position for the 7 in the lower right-hand corner pocket. I don't foresee any problems for the remainder of the rack. The 8's in front of the lower left-hand corner, the 9 cross table.
And the 43-year-old from Owensboro, Kentucky, stays alive in this, the World Championships of 9-ball pocket billiards. Made the break, but he sank the cue ball along with 3 others, and now Earl Strickland has ball in hand above the head string and has played a safety.
And he's played an excellent safety, Kim. Nick steps to the table now without a shot. But something good could come of this shot. If Nick kicks off the bottom cushion, comes down table, hits the left-hand side of the 1. The 1 will depart to the right. The cue ball will then stay to the left. He could come out of this in pretty good shape. And he does. Incredible shot.
Good shot, Nick.
And there you heard in the background Earl Strickland saying, "Good shot, Nick." These two have played, by the way, 16 times. And it is 8 apiece. Earl Strickland still 1 game away from the World Championship.
Now, Earl wanted to send the 1 ball off the table a little farther than that. Unfortunately, it didn't get up the table any further than it did.
That was too good.
Varner now steps to the table with a long, testy shot on the 1. It looks like the 2-5, which is on the lower left-hand part of the table, seemed to be kind of like straight in the corner pocket. There's a chance that he can make the 2-5 combination. But first, he has to make the 1. Okay, I'm certainly sure he's glad that shot's over with. Now, making the 2-5 combination doesn't seem to be much of a problem, but controlling the 2 ball is a problem. At 3 pockets, a 2-5 combination, controlling the object ball, being the 2 ball, that's the problem. You must end up with some type of a shot on the 2 at 3 pockets of the combination. How well did he control the object ball? I can't tell. When he's at the table looking at the shot, then we'll be able to tell a little bit better exactly what type of a shot he has. Earl was kind of surprised to see him shoot that shot in that fashion. He doesn't have a shot. It looks like he's going to have to bank it. There's a lot of pressure out there right now. Oh, he was able to bank it. Notice how closely the cue ball is to the three ball. Another problem. And on the other side of the table, the 4 and the 9 are very close together. He doesn't have a pocket to pocket the 4 in. He has a difficult shot on the 3. Not only does he have to pocket the 3, but he's going to have to do something with the 4-9. On this particular shot, he's going to either have to go into the 4 or the 9 with the cue ball. And from that point, there's the 4. He's going to have to go in. Now, the 6 is at the other end of the table. After playing position on the 4, he has to get back down table for position on the 6. So he has a lot of work ahead of him.
Throughout this competition, the table has played out not to Nick Varner's liking. Strickland has had the favorable breaks.
Great shot. Nick was able to pocket the difficult shot on the 3, running into the 9, and fortunately has ended up with a cross-side bank on the 4. The 6 ball at the other end of the table. He still must play position on the 6 if he expects to get out this rack, and doing that isn't going to be easy. Now he's going to bank the 4 cross-side. The cue ball then will go 3 cushions, hitting the side cushion, bottom cushion, and then the side cushion again, going up toward the 6. And narrowly missing the side pocket.
Absolutely delectable. As we mentioned at the top of the show, Nick Varner composed. If he can get it close, he will continue to improve. He claims that the closer it gets, the better he likes it. He needs to get this table now. Bear in mind, Varner has 5 games. Earl Strickland has 8. Well, a routine final shot, but nothing routine about that game for Nick Varner. The pressure all on him. Earl Strickland still 1 game away from the World Championship. To Jack Nicklaus in his ability to manage his game. And now, as he sinks a ball in the break, he must manage the cue ball.
Okay, he has a shot on the 1. The 2 ball is near the left-hand side pocket. Earl seems like he's, for the first time in the match, in imminent danger of losing the match. He really doesn't like that at all.
And this is what we suggested at the top of the match. What would happen when it got close? How would the personalities begin to come into play? Varner, the more composed, less vocal, quiet, very much like a stone-faced poker player. Earl Strickland, never any doubt about what he's feeling. Always wears his emotions on his face.
And that's one of the main reasons why Nick Varner is able to come back consistently, because of his unexcitable temperament at the table. Now he has a shot on the 3 in the lower right-hand corner. He needs to come off the side cushion, which he does. Position for the 5 should be in the same pocket.
Can he run this table from here, Bill?
I don't see any problems from this point on. He'll pocket the 5 in the lower right-hand corner, hitting the side cushion. If he's able to pocket the 6 and obtain the correct shot or angle on the 8, this rack should be history.
And the table goes to Nick Varner, the #1 player in the world, but Earl Strickland still a game away.
Okay, here we have a situation to where we come to the table and we're hooked. We have, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to kick behind the 7, making the 7 in this side, and if we miss the 7, then we should have our opponent hooked behind the 8. So this is the way we'll do it. And that's how you do it.
You saw what happened when he pocketed the 7. This is what happens when he misses the 7. Notice the results. The cue ball behind the 8. That's exactly what he wanted to have happen.
And what Nick Varner would like to have happen now is pocket the 9 ball off the break. Earl Strickland is up 8-7, but Nick Varner on the comeback now. And yeah, Earl, my hands are a little bit clammy too.
Nick's played brilliantly through games 13, 14, and 15. It looks like it's a very, very even match at this point. That was a gutty shot there, you know. He kicked indirectly into the cushion, pocketing the 1 in the lower right-hand corner, knowing that he was going to end up with this type of a shot on the 2. It's a very long, tough shot on the 2. Notice the position of the cue ball in the jaws of the upper right-hand corner pocket. You know, he has a choice here. He can kick him back at the 2, sending the 2 up table and play a safety. But at this time, I don't think he's thinking about playing safe. Looks like he's going after the juggler here.
And how tough is it playing from the rail behind the pocket?
Very tough.
And it won't drop.
You know, I thought that he made that ball when he hit it. It looked like he hit it well enough for it to go, but unfortunately, the ball didn't drop. The 2 balls just hanging, and I don't know what's keeping it up. This is the game that Strickland needs to win the title. And that was one of the most difficult shots that you could see. Long, straight in, has to hit the 2 ball squarely, drawing the cue ball back toward the 4. Now this shot coming up is difficult also. He's got a small area to get the cue ball in for 4 position on the 5.
Oh, no, I snookered myself. No, it didn't. Phew. Hold it. I do not believe that guy did that. In the middle of my shot, he hit me with a flash.
Well, I saw the flash go off. It didn't distract Earl to the point where he missed the ball, but he's got an awkward angle on the 7. And as I expected, he had to stop the cue ball dead for position on the 8, cross side. Yes! Well, pocketing the 8 was game ball for him. He knew it, and he raised his hand in victory.
great match, Nick. That was a great match.
1991
And now the flashes crank up, and justifiably so. Earl Strickland, the winner, 9-7 over a game, but on this day, overmatched Nick Varner. And yes, give yourself a round of applause, Earl Strickland. The defending champion goes on to win the 1990 World 9-Ball Championship. Congratulatory hug. And for the first time, the contented sigh. And it was shots like this in Game 12, a miraculous 4-9 combination that gave Earl Strickland that game and set him on a roll that carried him throughout the rest of the day. And right now, he's with Kevin Cusick.
A week long of competition. You played one intense match after another, and tonight was no different.
Yes, Nick's a very good player, and we had a tough match, and I got very fortunate to win that match.
At what point in what game did you think you had him?
Well, when I got 8-4, I figured I had him, but I kept coming up with a combination off the break, and that kept him alive, I think.
You showed a lot of excitement throughout the week. You like to get your emotions going, to say the least. Was there any time that you felt overpsyched?
No, this is a game of excitement, and that's what carries me through the wins.
Late in the match, someone took a snapshot, seemed to bother you a little bit there, seemed a little bit unfair, almost like they were rooting for the other fella.
Well, I know everybody wants to get pictures, but let's wait until the event's over and for flash photography, because it's very distracting.
How about now? What's going through your mind?
I feel great, and I feel as good as I can feel. I defended my title. I represented my country. There's no better feeling than this in the world, believe me.
Earl, congratulations.
I'd like to say hello to the people back in Greensboro, where I reside, and hello to everybody in Roseboro, where I come from, and Stan Smith down in Hilton Head. Reggie Bray, you guys get them golf clubs out, because I'm coming.
Okay. He's from North Carolina, and he's now the world 9-ball champion. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
Tee it up, boys. I'm coming home. And for Nick Varner, it was this kind of day. On that 2-ball in the last game would have kept him alive. It didn't fall. And right now, Kevin Cusick is with him.
Nick, you played competitive right to the very end.
Yeah, the match, it was kind of, Earl got a big jump on me there. He had me 8-4. But I tell you what, when I was shooting the 2-ball, I thought he was mine. I mean, I really thought I thought if I could just make that 2, it looked like that was like the winning shot that game. And 8-8 with me breaking, I knew I was in the match. And but you know, Earl, he started out and played real good, got a good lead, and you know, he played real good.
He's been loud and somewhat boisterous all week. Did that bother you at all when he started getting a little over anxious here?
No, it doesn't bother me. You know, I don't really care what he does.
It seemed to have the momentum going in his favor, and he seems to really play on that. You seem to be steady as a rock after that, though.
Yeah, I made a real good out there one rack. I had to cut the 3 way down in the corner, bank the 4, and that was a real tough out, and I got out that game and stuff, and I really started feeling like I could win that match. You know, I was starting to pull up 8-6 and then 8-7, and you know, I just when I was shooting at that 2, I could have played a safe on the 2 or the 1, but I liked the opportunity of they both looked easy to me, so I had to go for them.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you, Kevin. Oh, for the whisper of a 2-ball. But there is your champion, Earl Strickland. So for Bill N. Cardona and Kevin Cusick, I'm Tim Prince. See you next time.